The amber liquid in Sylvia's glass caught the light as she swirled it gently. $20,000 whiskey, she thought, and it tasted like nothing at all. 30 years in the barrel, older than the bartender pouring it. The hotel bar is elegant and discreet, all dark wood and muted lighting. The kind of place where the wealthy can drink alone without being bothered. Sylvia's tailored charcoal suit and the quiet authority she radiates ensure that even the most ambitious networking types keep their distance. A notification illuminates her phone. Another acquisition completed. Another few million added to her already substantial fortune. Sylvia dismisses it with a flick of her finger, her expression unchanged. At 47, Sylvia Swanson has achieved everything she once thought she wanted. CEO of Swanson Innovations, listed among Fortune's most powerful women in business 3 years running. Owner of properties on 3 continents. From the outside, her life is a masterclass in success. The bartender approaches with deference. "Another Mrs. Swanson?" Sylvia nods, watching as he pours another measure of the ridiculously expensive whiskey. 20 years ago, she would have been impressed by herself. Now she just feels hollow. She pulls out her phone again, opens Instagram, and types a name she knows by heart. Olivia Levine. The profile appears, and Sylvia scrolls through it as she has dozens of times before, even though she knows it by heart. Photos of a smiling woman with warm eyes and laugh lines, surrounded by stacks of books. Pictures of her at literary festivals, signing copies of her latest novel. Images of Olivia and her wife, Rebecca, at their countryside home in Vermont, looking perfectly, infuriatingly happy. A new post catches Sylvia's eye. Olivia holding her newest book, beaming with pride. The caption reads, "Delighted to announce my new novel, The Road's Not Taken, is out today. A story about choices, consequences, and finding courage in unexpected places." Sylvia clicks the image to enlarge it, studying the book cover. She wonders, not for the first time, how many of the characters in Olivia's novels are inspired by her, if she's the villain in all of them. She locks her phone and drains her glass, the expensive whiskey burning a path down her throat. That's a face with a story behind it. Sylvia turns, annoyed at the intrusion. An elderly woman has taken the seat beside her, though Sylvia hadn't noticed her approach. There's something unusual about her. She's dressed simply but with an elegance that speaks of good taste rather than money. Her silver hair is swept into a loose bun, and her eyes... Sylvia blinks. The woman's eyes seem to shift color in the bar's dim lighting. "I'm not looking for company," Sylvia said, voice even. The woman raised her hands. "Of course, forgive me." She flagged down the bartender anyway. "A gin and tonic, and another of what she's having." "I don't need charity," Sylvia said coolly. "Not charity," the woman replied. "A tribute to whatever ache brought you here tonight." Sylvia stared at her. "You don't know me." "I know that look." The woman accepted her drink. A woman who has everything, and none of what she really wanted. Sylvia didn't respond. She took the fresh whiskey with a nod she didn't mean. "Let me guess," the woman went on, gentle as silk. "You made the practical choice once, maybe even the noble one. And now, some nights, you wonder what would have happened if you hadn't." The words landed like a body blow. Sylvia blinked, slowly. "Who are you?" The woman shrugged. "Someone who's made her own share of choices." A beat. "If you could go back," she asked softly, "would you choose differently?" Sylvia almost laughed, but it came out hollow. What's the point of that question? Humor me. Maybe it was the whiskey, or the way Olivia's smile still lingered behind her eyes. Sylvia answered before she could stop herself. "Yes," she said quietly. "I'd choose her." A pause. "Olivia," she added. "I'd choose Olivia over all of this." Why didn't you? The woman asked, not judging. Family. Fear. The future Sylvia sighed. I chose ambition. It felt like the only way to matter. The woman studied her face. And you never went back? I did, Sylvia said. Too late. She didn't want to reopen the wound. She's married now. She's happy. A long silence stretched between them. The woman raised her glass. To roads not taken, then. Sylvia hesitated, then clinked hers softly. To roads not taken. They drank. The whiskey burned deeper this time. A strange warmth spread through Sylvia's limbs, heavy, slow. She stood, a little unsteady. I should sleep. I'll cover the tab, the woman said. You need rest more than you need another drink. Yes, she agrees, standing carefully. Good night, Ms. The woman smiles, but doesn't offer her name. Good night, Sylvia. I hope you find what you're looking for. The elevator ride to her penthouse suite passes in a blur. Sylvia barely remembers removing her suit and sliding under the cool sheets of the king-sized bed. Sleep claims her instantly, unusual for a woman who typically battles insomnia. As consciousness fades, she hears the strange woman's voice, though she can't be sure if it's memory or dream. What if you could choose again? A chorus of birdsong and the rustle of wind through leaves rouses Sylvia from sleep. A soundtrack far too gentle, too alive, for the sealed-off quiet of her usual mornings. The air is cool and carries the faint scent of pine and old books. Her limbs feel strangely heavy, as if her body hasn't caught up with her mind. She shifts, frowning at the unfamiliar texture of the sheets, coarse cotton, worn soft by years of washing. The mattress dips unevenly beneath her, nothing like the orthopedic firmness of her penthouse bed. For a moment, disoriented, she lies still and listens. Sylvia opens her eyes and freezes. This isn't her hotel room. This isn't any room she recognizes. She sits up abruptly, heart racing. The space around her is small, cluttered with books and papers. A dorm room? How is that possible? Her gaze falls on a desk calendar, and the breath leaves her lungs in a rush. October 14th, 2002. No, she whispers. That's not possible. With trembling hands, she reaches for a small mirror on the nightstand and nearly drops it when she sees her reflection. The face looking back at her is her own, but 25 years younger. No subtle crow's feet, no carefully maintained highlights in her dark hair. Just Sylvia at 22, wide-eyed and impossible. A knock at the door makes her jump. Syl, you up? We're gonna be late for Sanderson's lecture. The voice freezes Sylvia in place. Her roommate, Casey. Casey, who she hasn't seen since 2012, Casey's wedding in Napa Valley, before Sylvia got too busy for maintaining friendships. Just a minute. Her voice comes out higher than she remembers, lacking the authoritative edge she's cultivated over years in boardrooms. Sylvia scrambles out of bed, nearly tripping over textbooks. Her body feels wrong, lighter, more energetic, but clumsy. She stares at her hands. No age spots, no expensive manicure. Just the bitten nails of a stressed college student. This is impossible. I'm dreaming. That strange woman at the bar. Seriously, Syl. Professor Hardass waits for no one. She throws on jeans and a Northwestern University sweatshirt, fingers fumbling with unfamiliar shoelaces. A glance in the mirror confirms it. She's 22 again, her face unlined, her eyes bright, despite the panic behind them. I'm back. I'm actually back. Olivia. Where is Olivia in 2002? How did we meet the first time? It was in a class, wasn't it? American Literature with Professor Sanderson. The same lecture Casey's waiting for her to attend. The lecture hall is already crowded when they arrive. Sylvia scans the room frantically, heart pounding, and then she sees her. Olivia sits 3 rows from the front. her dark, curly hair pulled back with a colorful scarf, bent over a notebook. Even from a distance, Sylvia can see the intensity of her concentration, the slight furrow between her brows. 25 years of longing crash over her. Olivia. Young, brilliant, not yet hurt by Sylvia's choices. Not yet the successful author married to someone else. "You okay?" Casey nudges her. "You're being super weird." "I'm fine," Sylvia manages. "Let's sit there." She points to seats behind Olivia. When Sanderson calls for a break, Olivia stands and heads toward the door. Sylvia follows her into the hallway, rehearsing opening lines that vanish from her mind when face to face with the younger version of the woman who has haunted her dreams for decades. Olivia is at the water fountain when Sylvia blurts out, too loudly, "Hi!" Olivia straightens, wiping water from her lip. "Hi?" she responds, a question in her voice. "I'm Sylvia." She extends her hand formally, a CEO's greeting, completely out of place in a college hallway. Olivia looks at the outstretched hand with amusement, but takes it. "Olivia, are you in Sanderson's class?" The touch of Olivia's hand sends electricity through Sylvia's body. She holds on a beat too long. "Yes, I sit right behind you. I love your analysis of The Great Gatsby." Olivia's brow furrows. "Wait, what analysis?" "We haven't discussed The Great Gatsby yet." Sylvia feels heat rush to her face. "Right. I meant I saw your notes. They looked thorough." "You were reading my notes over my shoulder?" Olivia looks more bemused than offended. "No, I mean—" Sylvia stops, takes a breath. "I'm sorry. I'm being weird. Let me start over. I'm Sylvia. I'd love to grab coffee sometime and talk about books." Olivia's eyebrows rise slightly, but a small smile plays at her lips. That's direct. "Life's too short to waste time," Sylvia says, the words of a 47-year-old coming from a 22-year-old's mouth. "Well, Sylvia, who doesn't waste time, I usually study at Brood Awakening on Tuesday afternoons. Maybe I'll see you there." "Tuesday, Brood Awakening. I'll be there." Sylvia tries to dial back her intensity. "I mean, cool, sounds good." Over the next few weeks, Sylvia falls into a routine of coffee shop meetings and accidentally running into Olivia around campus. Each time, she has to restrain herself from revealing too much. "You have a crush," Casey declares one night, as Sylvia tries on multiple outfits before meeting Olivia for dinner. "What?" "No, we're just friends." But it is, and Sylvia knows she's not being subtle enough. Olivia has started giving her strange looks when Sylvia references things she shouldn't know yet. Like when Olivia mentioned her grandmother falling ill, and Sylvia's face had crumpled with genuine grief. Because in her timeline, Olivia's grandmother had died during their junior year, and Sylvia had been too busy with an internship interview to attend the funeral. "Are you okay?" Olivia had asked, concerned. "Yes, sorry, I know how close you are to her." Another slip. "Did I tell you that?" "You must have." The breaking point comes at a small house party where Sylvia drinks too much trying to calm her nerves. Olivia finds her on the back porch, staring up at the stars. "You disappeared," Olivia says, sitting beside her on the steps. "Just needed some air." Sylvia's head is swimming. "You've been acting weird all night." Sylvia turns to look at Olivia, illuminated in the gentle glow from the kitchen windows. She's so beautiful, so young, so full of potential. "You're going to be an amazing writer someday," Sylvia says, the words slipping out before she can stop them. "Your books are going to help people feel less alone." Olivia stares at her. "How would you know that?" "Because I know you." The alcohol has loosened her tongue. "You've known me for a month." "It feels like forever." Sylvia reaches out, brushing a curl from Olivia's face with an intimacy they haven't established yet. "Sometimes I look at you and can't believe you're really here." Olivia pulls back slightly. "Sylvia, you're drunk." "No, I'm—" Sylvia stops herself. Yes, I'm drunk. But that doesn't make it less true. Make what less true? That I'm in love with you. The words hang in the night air between them. Olivia's eyes widen. What? I'm sorry, Sylvia says quickly. That was too much. Yeah, it was. Olivia stands up. Sylvia, we barely know each other, and you've been intense from the start. Following me around, always showing up where I am, saying weird things like you can see my future. It's making me uncomfortable. The word hits Sylvia like a physical blow. Uncomfortable. She's making Olivia uncomfortable. I never meant to make you feel that way, Sylvia says. I'm sorry, I'll back off. I think that's a good idea. Olivia's voice is gentle but firm. I like you, Sylvia. You're interesting and smart. But this feels unhealthy. As Olivia walks away, Sylvia sinks back onto the steps, the cold reality washing over her. She's messed up. Again. Different choices, same result. Olivia walking away from her. I've been doing this all wrong, she realizes through her haze. You can't shortcut a relationship. You can't force feelings that took months to develop naturally the first time. She makes herself a promise. If she truly loves Olivia, she needs to let this develop naturally. No more rushing, no more intensity, no more future knowledge. It's the hardest thing she's ever committed to, harder than any business deal, to temper the love of decades with the patience to build it anew, day by day. 1 month later, November 2002. A month has passed since the disastrous party where Sylvia's drunken confession sent Olivia running. True to her word, Sylvia has kept her distance, only seeing Olivia during their shared literature class, where she sits far from Olivia and avoids making eye contact. It's been the hardest month of Sylvia's strange new reality, harder than adapting to life without smartphones or rideshare apps, harder than remembering not to reference events that haven't happened yet. Yesterday, when Casey complained about walking across campus in the rain, Sylvia had absent-mindedly said, "We could just call an Uber." Casey had squinted at her. "A what?" "It's, nothing. Just something from back home." Sylvia had stumbled over the explanation, making a mental note to be more careful. These slips happen constantly. This morning, frustrated by their dorm room's spotty dial-up connection, Sylvia had muttered, "I'd kill for some decent Wi-Fi." "Some what?" Casey had asked, looking up from her textbook. "Nothing," Sylvia had replied, burying her face in her hands. Now, trudging across campus in the November chill, Sylvia spots Olivia sitting under a tree, reading. Her heart lurches, but she remembers her promise. No more intensity, no more rushing, no more approaching Olivia at all until Olivia is ready. She's about to change direction when Professor Sanderson calls out to her. "Miss Swanson, a moment of your time?" Sylvia stops, noticing Olivia glance up at the sound of her name. "Yes, Professor. I've been thinking about the group assignments for the final project." He consults a notebook. "You and Ms. Levine both wrote exceptional papers on modernist influences. I'd like to pair you two, if that's acceptable." Sylvia's heart races. This is exactly how they'd been thrown together the first time around, Sanderson pairing them for a project. But it's happening earlier in this timeline. That would be fine with me," Sylvia manages, careful not to sound too eager. "Excellent. Ms. Levine already agreed when I spoke with her earlier. You two can coordinate schedules. The project outline is on the syllabus." As Sanderson walks away, Sylvia stands frozen, unsure what to do. Does she approach Olivia now? Wait for her to make the first move? The decision is made for her when Olivia looks up, meets her gaze, and gives a small, hesitant wave. Taking a deep breath, Sylvia walks over. "Hi," she says, stopping at a respectful distance. "Hi." Olivia closes her book. "I guess you heard about Sanderson's project?" Just now? Are you sure you're okay with us working together? Olivia studies her for a moment. It's fine. We're both adults, and you've respected my space this past month. I promised I would. Olivia nods, then gestures to the ground beside her. You can sit if you want. We should probably talk about the project. Sylvia sits, maintaining distance between them. This isn't the Olivia who once loved her. This is a woman who thinks she's slightly unhinged. Virginia Woolf would be interesting, Olivia suggests after they discuss options. Woolf sounds perfect, Sylvia agrees, remembering how in her original timeline they'd chosen the same author. See you in class, Olivia says as they part ways, her tone cordial but distant. See you in class, Sylvia echoes, trying not to show her disappointment. It's a start, she reminds herself. Small steps. Their Virginia Woolf presentation had been a success. Professor Sanderson even suggested submitting it to a literary journal. More importantly, it had solidified a fragile but growing friendship between Sylvia and Olivia, nurtured over winter break through long, meandering phone calls. Now, with a new semester underway and January snow keeping students indoors, Sylvia is getting ready for Mark's winter party. You're overthinking this, Casey says from her bed. It's a party, not an interview. Sylvia settles on jeans and a soft blue sweater, casual but fine for 2002. Olivia's going too, right? Casey asks. We might run into each other, Sylvia says, grabbing her coat. Outside, campus is hushed under snow, stars bright overhead. The walk to the party house feels longer than she remembers, giving her too much time to wonder if Olivia will actually be there. Inside, the house is packed, music loud, rooms crowded. Sylvia spots Casey dancing, then Richard from Econ, but no Olivia. She heads to the kitchen for a drink, resigned to leaving early, when a voice behind her says, I was hoping you'd be here. She turns. Olivia stands there, cheeks flushed, curls loose, more beautiful than Sylvia remembered. Hey, Sylvia says, her smile immediate. I wasn't sure you'd come. I figured we deserved a little celebration. They toast. To academic success, Olivia says. And good partnerships, Sylvia adds. They find a quieter corner. Conversation flows. Classes, books, winter break. The awkwardness between them is gone. Sylvia watches Olivia light up talking about overlooked women writers and feels something warm and familiar stir. You're staring, Olivia says. I just like listening to you, Sylvia replies. Olivia tilts her head, intrigued. You say things like that, so sincerely. It's kind of charming. Before Sylvia can respond, Ms. Jackson blares through the speakers. Oh my God, I love this song. Olivia laughs, setting down her cup. Come dance. She grabs Sylvia's hand, tugging her into the crowd. At first, Sylvia is hesitant, but Olivia's energy is contagious. 3 songs later, they're laughing and breathless, touching more often, more easily. I need air, Olivia says, fanning herself. It's boiling in here. They make their way to the back porch, stepping into the sharp contrast of cold winter air. The porch is empty, too cold for most partygoers, giving them a rare moment of privacy. Much better, Olivia sighs, leaning against the railing. Her breath forms small clouds in the frigid air. Sylvia stands beside her, looking out at the snow-covered yard, streetlights casting long shadows across the untouched white. Beautiful night. It is. Olivia turns to face her. This has been nice, hasn't it? Getting to know each other these past few months. Working together. It has, Sylvia agrees, her heart quickening at the direction of the conversation. I've enjoyed it more than I expected. Even though I was so wary of you at first. Especially because of that, Sylvia admits. It meant more, knowing you were giving me a second chance. Olivia studies her face in the dim light spilling from the kitchen window. You know, I've been thinking about what you told me, about your intuitions. Oh, Sylvia says, suddenly nervous. I think I understand it better now, Olivia continues. Because sometimes, when we're talking, I get the strangest feeling that we've had these conversations before, that we've known each other longer than we have. Sylvia's breath catches. You do? Olivia nods slowly. It's like déjà vu, but warmer, more certain. She shivers, wrapping her arms around herself. God, it's freezing out here. Without thinking, Sylvia shrugs off her jacket and drapes it around Olivia's shoulders. Won't you be cold? Olivia asks, though she pulls the jacket tighter. I'm fine, Sylvia assures her, though the winter air immediately cuts through her sweater. Olivia steps closer, her expression thoughtful. That's another thing. You're always doing things like that. Small kindnesses. As if you know exactly what I need before I do. They're standing very close now, close enough that Sylvia can see the flecks of gold in Olivia's eyes, the slight chapping of her lips from the cold weather. Maybe I'm just paying attention, Sylvia suggests softly. Maybe. Olivia's gaze drops to Sylvia's mouth for a flickering second. Or maybe there's something to your intuition theory after all. The moment stretches between them, electric with possibility. Sylvia feels her heart pounding against her ribs, afraid to move, afraid to break whatever spell has fallen over them. Olivia is the one who closes the distance, her cold fingertips brushing Sylvia's cheek as she leans in and presses her lips gently against Sylvia's. The kiss is brief, tentative, a question more than a declaration. When Olivia pulls back, her expression is uncertain, watching Sylvia's face for a reaction. For Sylvia, it's a moment suspended in time, the first kiss of this timeline, the rekindling of something she thought she'd lost forever. Her body remembers this, even as her mind reels with the impossibility of second chances. Was that okay? Olivia asks, suddenly shy. In answer, Sylvia cups Olivia's face with both hands and kisses her again, more deeply this time. Olivia responds immediately, her arms slipping around Sylvia's waist, pulling her closer despite the bulky jacket between them. When they break apart, they're both smiling, breath mingling in the cold air. I've been wanting to do that for weeks, Olivia says, cheeks flushed. Only weeks? Sylvia teases, then quickly adds, I mean, I've wanted to since the first time I saw you. Olivia laughs. Even when I thought you were completely crazy. Especially then. The back door opens, letting out noise and a few students looking for their own escape. Olivia leans in. Want to get out of here? She asks, slipping her hand into Sylvia's. Your place or mine? Mine. My roommate's gone. They weave back through the party, gather their things, and head into the night. Sylvia can hardly believe it. 3 months of slow-building friendship, and now this. A kiss that feels both like a beginning and a return. Outside Olivia's dorm, they pause. So, Olivia says, tugging on Sylvia's borrowed jacket. So, Sylvia echoes, smiling. Want to come up? We could talk, or whatever. Sylvia hesitates. The rush of possibility hits a wall. 47 years of lived experience inside a 22-year-old's body. It doesn't feel right to go further yet. I'd like to, she says gently. But tonight was already perfect. I don't want to rush the rest. Olivia searches her face, then nods. You're right. We have time. Sylvia exhales. Can I see you tomorrow? Call me when you wake up, Olivia says, pressing one last kiss to her lips. As Sylvia walks home through the snow, her heart is full of hope, of memory, of quiet determination. She may be rewriting everything, but this time, she'll do it right. Sylvia wakes early, the memory of last night's kiss vivid in her mind. The campus outside her window is quiet, blanketed in fresh snow. She grabs her old Nokia phone, momentarily forgetting texting isn't a thing yet, and dials Olivia's number. "Hi, it's Sylvia. Did I wake you?" "A little," Olivia says sleepily, "but it's a good way to wake up." They agree to meet for coffee at 10. Sylvia hangs up smiling, lighter than she's felt in a long time. Outside, Sylvia walks through the snowy campus, thinking about what she'll say to Olivia. As she crosses the main quad, a voice stops her. "Beautiful morning, isn't it?" It's her, the silver-haired woman from the bar. She's sitting on a bench, feeding birds like she belongs there. "You," Sylvia says, approaching cautiously. The woman smiles. "Join me?" Sylvia sits. What's happening to me? Am I stuck like this? Will I remember both lives? Do you remember what you wished for? I said I'd choose differently. I'd choose Olivia. And are you? Yes, but then you're already on the path. Sylvia's frustration rises. What does that even mean? Who are you? When you make the choice that truly matters, everything will fall into place. What choice? You'll know. She stands. Trust yourself, and trust her. Will I see you again? If you need to. She walks behind a passing group of students and vanishes, leaving no footprints. Sylvia stands stunned. What choice? She's already choosing Olivia. But Olivia is waiting. For now, the mystery can wait. She hurries toward the coffee shop, snow crunching under her feet. Brewed Awakening is warm and smells like coffee and cinnamon. Sylvia spots Olivia in a corner, 2 steaming mugs on the table. "Sorry I'm late," Sylvia says, unwinding her scarf. "I just got here. I got you a black coffee." "Perfect. Thanks." They sit in brief silence, both clearly thinking about the night before. "Last night was," Olivia begins. "Nice," Sylvia finishes. "Really nice. I've been wanting to kiss you for a while." "Me too," Sylvia says. "I'm glad we didn't rush it." Olivia smiles. "That's why you didn't come up?" Sylvia nods. "It felt right to just pause there. Let it be something on its own." That's actually kind of sweet. They both smile, and Sylvia feels something ease between them. The morning unfolds gently, full of quiet conversation and small touches. They talk about classes, books, the week ahead. At one point, Olivia reaches across the table and laces their fingers together, and neither of them lets go. Later, as they walk back to campus with snow drifting softly around them, Olivia glances over. "I had a strange dream about you once," she says quietly, "before we ever met." Sylvia looks at her, curious. "Really?" "Yeah, you were sitting alone at a bar. Older, like much older than we are now. You looked tired. Not just physically, but like the world had worn you down." Olivia pauses. "I remember thinking how sad your eyes were, like you'd lost something important." Sylvia's breath catches. "That's specific." "I know, right?" Olivia shrugs, looking almost sheepish. "I forgot about it until recently. But after we started talking, I kept getting this weird sense of recognition. Like I already knew you. Like you were someone I'd been waiting for without realizing it." Sylvia says nothing for a moment, heart pounding. It's almost too close to the truth. "And now?" she asks, her voice quiet. "Now you're nothing like that woman in the dream," Olivia says, smiling. "You're weird and intense and kind. But the feeling's still there sometimes. Like there's more to you than I understand." Sylvia forces a soft laugh. "Maybe I'm just good at being mysterious." Olivia grins. "Or maybe you're from the future." Sylvia's smile falters for just a second. "Maybe." Then Olivia leans in and kisses her again, gentle and lingering. Just as they turn the corner, Sylvia's phone rings. She checks the screen. Her parents. Her breath tightens. "Do you need to take it?" Olivia asks. Sylvia stares at the screen, memories crashing in. This was the call, the internship, the fork in the road, the one that led her away. She silences the phone. "I'll call them later." Olivia gives her hand a squeeze. "You sure everything's okay?" Sylvia nods. "Yeah, I just know what matters right now." They walk on, snow falling softly around them, their steps slow and in sync. But Sylvia's thoughts turn inward. The moment hadn't come yet. Not quite. But it would. She could feel it approaching just ahead, waiting to see if she'd really learned anything. And when it did, she'd have to choose. Again. "Swanson Innovations is our family legacy, Sylvia." Her mother's voice cuts cold through the phone. "Your grandfather built it. Your father expanded it. You're meant to lead it." Sylvia sits stiffly on her dorm bed. "I understand that, Mom." "Do you? Or are you throwing it away for some college fling?" Olivia isn't a fling. "You're dating a woman now? And risking everything for what? Some aspiring writer who'll be waiting tables in 5 years?" The words sting, just as they had the first time around. That's not fair. Life isn't fair. The internship starts in May. Your grandfather expects you. If you don't show up, don't bother coming home. Her father's voice replaces her mother's. "This opportunity is about control, not opportunity," Sylvia says. A pause. "Call us when you've come to your senses." The call ends. In her first life, this was the moment she caved. Later, in Olivia's dorm, Sylvia explains, "They're making me choose. The company or you." "That's not right," Olivia says. "They can't do that. They already have." "What are you thinking?" Sylvia takes a breath. "That I've already lived the version where I said yes to them. I know how it ends. And I was alone." Olivia studies her. "How do you know that?" Sylvia hesitates. "The same way you dreamed about me before we met. Some things aren't easy to explain." A knock interrupts them. Olivia's roommate peeks in. "There's a man downstairs asking for Sylvia. Says he's your dad." Sylvia stiffens. "I'll be right down." Her father stands in the lobby, out of place in a tailored suit. "We need to talk." They walk to a quiet cafe. After they sit, he says, "Your mother doesn't know I'm here." "Why are you here?" "Because I've been where you are." Sylvia frowns. "What do you mean?" "I had someone once, before your mother. My father made me choose too." "What did you choose?" "I chose the company. The name. Approval." He exhales. "And I've built a life, but I still wonder. If you made the right choice." He nods. "If she's really special, don't make my mistake." "Mom will never forgive me." "She might, or she won't. But you'll be the one living with the outcome." He reaches across the table. "Whatever you decide, you're still my daughter." Back at Olivia's dorm, she's waiting. "Everything okay?" she asks. "No," Sylvia says honestly, "but it will be." "What will you do?" Sylvia looks into her eyes, her hands still warm from the conversation. "I choose this, not because of pressure, not for anyone else, just because I know what matters now." Olivia pulls her into a quiet, steady kiss. Spring brings change to the campus. Trees budding, students emerging from winter hibernation, and final exams looming on the horizon. For Sylvia, it brings something else. Consequences. "Your grandfather wants to speak with you," her father's voice says through the phone. "He's not happy about your decision." 3 weeks have passed since Sylvia officially declined the Swanson Innovations internship. 3 weeks of silence from her mother, tense calls with her father, and questions from academic advisors confused by her turning down such a prestigious opportunity. When? Sylvia asks, watching Olivia across the library table where they're studying. This weekend. He insists on seeing you in person. Sylvia sighs. In her previous life, she'd never disappointed her grandfather. She'd been the perfect corporate heir, following precisely in the footsteps laid out for her. I'll come, she says finally. But I'm not changing my mind. After hanging up, she meets Olivia's concerned gaze. Family stuff? Olivia asks. My grandfather wants to see me. Sylvia runs a hand through her hair. Probably to lecture me about family duty. Do you want me to come with you? Olivia offers. The suggestion surprises Sylvia. In her previous life, she'd kept Olivia and her family completely separate, ashamed of how her parents might treat her. Another mistake she doesn't intend to repeat. Would you? It might be uncomfortable. Olivia reaches across the table, squeezing her hand. That's what girlfriends are for. The Swanson estate sprawled across 5 acres in Connecticut, the colonial mansion a monument to generational wealth. As the taxi passed through the iron gates, Olivia stared. You grew up here? Only on holidays and summers, Sylvia replied. Right, only holidays, Olivia teased, then sobered. Are you sure about me coming? I've never been more sure of anything. Her grandfather's study hadn't changed. Dark wood, heavy books he'd never read, and the overwhelming presence of Maxwell Swanson himself, seated like a king behind his desk. Sylvia, he said, not rising. His gaze shifted to Olivia beside her. And a guest. This is Olivia Levine, Sylvia replied. My girlfriend. She felt the weight of the word as it landed between them. In her previous life, she'd never dared say it. He said nothing at first, only gestured for them to sit. The silence stretched as he studied them both, sharp-eyed. You've declined the internship, he finally said. I have. He didn't ask why. He didn't argue. Instead, after a moment, he opened a drawer and pulled out a slim folder. I had something prepared. I thought I'd be convincing you to sign it. He slid it across the desk. Sylvia opened it carefully. Hammond Media Group? She read aloud. They've expanded into digital publishing. The CEO owes me a favor. He gestured between her and Olivia. It's flexible, 3 days a week starting in June. Business division, creative division. It seemed like a compromise. Sylvia blinked. This is for Olivia too? For both of you, he said. You're still interested in business. And I imagine she'd appreciate the writing opportunity. She looked at him. Really looked. In her first life, this man had been immovable, distant. She never would have expected this. Why would you do this? She asked quietly. He glanced toward an old wedding photo on the wall. Let's just say I've learned a few things about choice and regret. Then, straighter, firmer. This doesn't mean I approve. But you're a Swanson. We adapt. As they stepped out of the study, Sylvia felt weightless with disbelief. He hadn't tried to stop her. He hadn't punished her. He'd given her a way forward. And for the first time, in either life, she believed he might actually want her to take it. The Hammond Media Group internship proves to be everything Sylvia's grandfather promised. Flexible hours, challenging work, and most importantly, a chance for both Sylvia and Olivia to pursue their passions under one roof, while Sylvia analyzes business strategies in the corporate wing. Olivia spends her days assisting editors in the publishing division, soaking up knowledge about the industry she hopes to conquer with her writing. They want to see more of my short stories, Olivia says one evening as they walk hand in hand through Central Park, the summer sunset painting the sky in shades of pink and gold. The fiction editor thinks I have potential. Of course you do, Sylvia replies, squeezing her hand. You're going to be an amazing writer someday. Olivia gives her a curious look. You've always been so certain about that, even from the beginning. Sylvia just smiles. How could she explain that she's already read Olivia's future novels? That she knows exactly how talented Olivia will become? They found a small sublet in Brooklyn for the summer. A cramped studio with temperamental plumbing and a fire escape that doubles as their balcony. It's nothing like the luxury penthouse Sylvia once owned in her previous life, but she's never been happier. Her mother still barely speaks to her, but her father calls weekly, and even her grandfather has checked in once or twice, gruffly inquiring about her progress at Hammond. Has it been worth it? Olivia asks later that night as they lie in their narrow bed, a fan blowing warm air across their skin. Choosing us over your family business? Sylvia turns to face her, tracing Olivia's features in the dim light filtering through the curtainless window. Without a doubt, she says. I'd choose you 1,000 times over. Olivia smiles, but her eyes are serious. You talk like that sometimes, like you've lived this before. Maybe in another life, Sylvia says softly. Olivia laughs. Maybe. She nestles closer, her head fitting perfectly in the curve of Sylvia's shoulder. I had that dream again last night. The one about the bar? But it was different this time. You weren't alone anymore. Something shifts in Sylvia's chest. A quiet recognition, a piece falling into place. Who was I with? Me, Olivia says simply. We were both older, but it was definitely us. You looked happy. Sylvia presses a kiss to Olivia's forehead, emotion tightening her throat. That sounds like a good dream. It was. Olivia's voice grows drowsy. Like seeing our future. Our future, Sylvia echoes, the words filling her with peace. She watches as Olivia drifts to sleep, her breathing growing deep and even. Outside their window, the city hums with life. So different from the quiet luxury of her CEO existence, yet infinitely more vibrant, more real. Sylvia feels her own eyes growing heavy, the day's exhaustion catching up with her. As she slips towards sleep, she thinks about time and choices, about paths taken and paths avoided. Whatever magic or mystery brought her back, she's grateful. She's done what she returned to do. Chosen love, chosen connection, chosen a life with meaning beyond achievement. Thank you, she thinks to the silver-haired woman with the shifting eyes, wherever she might be. With that thought, Sylvia closes her eyes and surrenders to sleep. Sylvia wakes slowly, consciousness returning in gentle waves. Something feels different. The mattress softer, the room quieter. She keeps her eyes closed, savoring the peaceful moment, aware of a warm presence beside her. Olivia. The thought brings a smile to her lips. She stretches slightly, then freezes. Her body feels different. Heavier in some places, more aching in others. The hand she raises to rub her eyes doesn't look like her 22-year-old hand. Sylvia's eyes snap open. She's in a bedroom she doesn't recognize, spacious and elegant, with large windows letting in morning light through gauzy curtains. The bed is king-sized, the sheets luxurious against her skin. Beside her, someone stirs. Sylvia turns her head slowly, heart pounding, and finds herself looking at Olivia, but not the college student she fell asleep beside. This Olivia is older, in her 40s, laugh lines creasing the corners of her eyes, strands of silver threading through her dark curls. Beautiful. Still so beautiful. What time is it? Olivia murmurs, eyes still closed. Sylvia can't speak, can't even breathe. She looks down at herself, the body of a woman in her mid-40s, not the college student she was just moments ago. Syl, you okay? Olivia opens her eyes, instantly alert to Sylvia's tension. What's wrong? Nothing. Sylvia manages. Just disoriented. What day is it? Olivia props herself up on one elbow, studying Sylvia's face with concern. Wednesday, May 15th. Our anniversary, remember? 22 years since that summer internship that changed everything. 22 years. Sylvia's mind reels. Has she lost all that time? Or gained it? Right, she says, trying to sound normal. Of course. You had that dream again, didn't you? Olivia asks gently. Dream? The one where you're back in college. You always get this look afterward, like you're not quite sure where you are. Sylvia stares at her. I have that dream often. Every few months. Olivia smiles. You say it's always the same. You're 22 again, trying to fix some mistake you made. Very detailed, apparently. A dream. Was that all it was? But it had felt so real. The mysterious woman in the bar, waking up in her college dorm, the months of rebuilding her relationship with Olivia, choosing differently this time. It felt real, Sylvia whispers. Dreams often do. Olivia leans over, kissing her softly. But this is real, I promise. Sylvia looks around the room, noticing details she missed in her initial shock. Framed photos on the walls showing their life together, a row of books on a shelf with Olivia's name on the spines, 2 reading glasses on the nightstand instead of 1. A life built together, a different path than the lonely CEO existence she remembers. Are we happy? Sylvia asks suddenly. Olivia laughs. What kind of question is that? Then, seeing Sylvia's expression, she softens. Yes, love. We're happy. Not perfect. You still work too much, and I still get lost in my writing and forget to buy groceries. But happy? Absolutely. Relief floods through Sylvia. She reaches for Olivia, pulling her close, breathing in the familiar scent of her. Jasmine shampoo, just as she remembers. I love you, Sylvia says, her voice thick with emotion. I always have. I know, Olivia replies, her eyes twinkling. Even when you were a weird, intense college student who somehow knew I'd be a writer before I believed it myself. Sylvia freezes. You remember that? Of course I do. How could I forget the girl who claimed to be in love with me after knowing me for a month? Olivia traces Sylvia's cheek with gentle fingers. Turned out you were right, though. About what? Everything. Olivia kisses her again, then slips out of bed. I'm going to shower. Don't forget we have dinner reservations tonight, anniversary and all. As Olivia disappears into the bathroom, Sylvia sits up slowly, trying to process what's happening. She can remember both timelines now, the lonely CEO path and this new life with Olivia. Both feel equally real, equally vivid. A small silver photo frame on the nightstand catches her eye. She picks it up, studying the image, herself and Olivia on what appears to be their wedding day, both radiant with happiness. Behind them stands a familiar silver-haired woman with unusual eyes, smiling enigmatically at the camera. Sylvia's breath catches. Not a dream, then. Something else. Something magical or inexplicable. A second chance that somehow merged with her original life, creating this new reality. The bathroom door opens, releasing a cloud of steam as Olivia emerges wrapped in a towel. Your turn, she says. And don't forget, we need to call your parents later. Your mom's still determined to throw us that anniversary party. My mom? Sylvia asks, startled. She wants to throw us a party? Olivia gives her an odd look. Yes. She's only been planning it for months. Are you sure you're okay? Just still half asleep, Sylvia says, setting down the photo. I'll be fine after a shower. As the hot water washes over her, Sylvia tries to piece together this new life, this new history. Somehow, the choice she made, choosing Olivia over the Swanson legacy, altered everything that followed, creating ripples that changed not just her path, but her relationships, even her mother's acceptance. She remembers both lives now, both sets of choices. The lonely path and the connected one. The emptiness and the fullness. Stepping out of the shower, Sylvia catches her reflection in the mirror. Herself at 47, but with different eyes than the woman who sat alone in that hotel bar. These eyes are happier, more at peace. This is a woman who chose love. In the bedroom, she finds Olivia already dressed, typing rapidly on a laptop. "Inspiration strike?" Sylvia asks, smiling at the familiar sight. "Just finishing this chapter before we head out." Olivia looks up, returning her smile. "You know how editors are about deadlines." Sylvia peeks over her shoulder at the screen. "How's the book coming along?" "Making good progress," Olivia says. "Victoria and Elaine are at the museum gala scene now, where they're navigating their public versus private selves." "I can't wait until one day this story turns into a movie," Sylvia says. "Two actresses playing those roles would have incredible chemistry." Olivia laughs softly. "Don't have high expectations. It's just a love story about a spontaneous astronomer and an uptight physicist who clash before they connect." "I mean it," Sylvia insists. "People will love it. I can already imagine someone like Camille Hale in the lead. That intensity would be perfect." "Now you're really dreaming," Olivia says, but her smile shows she's not entirely opposed to the idea. Sylvia crosses to her, dropping a kiss on the top of her head. "I love you, all of you, the college girl with big dreams and the successful author you've become." Later, as they walk hand in hand toward the restaurant, Sylvia notices an elderly woman sitting on a park bench feeding pigeons. Something about her silver hair and the way she holds herself seems familiar, but when Sylvia looks again, the bench is empty. "Did you see that woman?" she asks Olivia. "What woman?" Sylvia shakes her head, smiling to herself. "Never mind. The future is unwritten now, a blank page waiting for new stories. But one thing Sylvia knows with absolute certainty. This time, she's chosen the right path. This time, the road taken has made all the difference.